The hustler's eye. How to see what most people miss. The skill that separates the naive from the powerful. First, some food for thought. A person under necessity of creating themselves must examine everything and soak up learning the way the roots soak up water. James Baldwin. The trigger. Most people walk through life looking but never truly seeing. It's as if they are walking around blindly, bumping into things, tripping over themselves, no direction, no intention, no real sense of purpose. They sit in meetings and miss what's really being said. They read people wrong, put their own spin on things. They miss opportunities hiding in plain sight because their eyes are trained to only see what is on the surface, never any depth. They fail to peel back the onion or sniff out the undertones that could reveal a much deeper meaning. I've been guilty of this myself, and it's cost me. It wasn't until I came across a concept in The 50th Law by Cent and Robert Greene that I had a name for what I was missing. They call it the hustler's eye. The ability to see through the noise, read people accurately, and spot opportunities before anyone else recognizes them. Take that little look around the corner. It's this intuition that separates the men who build the life they seek from the pissy little boys who just complain about how nothing ever works in their favor. They always try to find someone else to blame. The difference is just perspective. The truth is, the hustler's eye. How to see what most people miss. The greatest danger we face is our mind going soft and our eyes getting dull, glazing over. Most people don't even realize it's happening. The distractions pile up, the filtered realities take over, and slowly, without even making a conscious decision, they stop seeing the world as it actually is. All they see are problems, obstacles standing between them and their goal. At every turn, there's just another hurdle, and life starts to seem like it's against you. This is where the hustler's eye becomes essential, not just for success, but for self-protection. The realist don't have this problem. The realists look at harsh circumstances dead in the face and don't flinch. Think of that meme of Kobe and Matt Barnes, where Kobe stared and the ball nearly touching his face, just staring at the opposition unfazed. The realists understand that the world we live in will never be what it seems, as people tend to always have alternative motives. Our schemes always at play. Agendas, schemes, angles you will never see if you're only paying attention to what's directly in front of you. Sharpen your eye by paying keen attention to the smallest of details, to people's intentions, and to the darkest realities hiding beneath the surface. Your eye must be keen to the signals given from the world around you, not on your own ego or the deception that we can easily fall for. That's what allows you to not only see danger coming, but also enable you with the keen ability to identify opportunities for yourself or the weakness in others. But here's where most people fall short. They only develop awareness of the external. Enhancing your perspective is important because it opens you up to the wealth of information presented to us with every conversation and every waking moment that we often take for granted. However, the true master also sees from others' perspective. You're not just playing your hand, you're playing theirs too. That's when the world and all its outcomes start moving in your favor. Having clarity on where you're headed, what people are up to and what is happening in the world around you translate directly into confidence and power. Greene outlines several principles to develop this clarity of the hustler's eye. First, rediscover curiosity and openness. Stay childlike in your hunger to learn. Children don't walk into the room with a perceived notion about what's possible. They explore everything. They ask why. They touch things that they're not supposed to. They see the world without these filters that adults spend years building up. Somewhere along the way, most people lose that. They get experienced. They call it wisdom. But what they've really done is close themselves off to anything that doesn't fit what they already believe. You created your own glass box without realizing it. And here's the dangerous part about that glass box. You can see out, but you can't get out. You watch opportunities pass. You observe other people moving, growing, evolving. But because your world is defined by the walls you build around your own thinking, you can't reach what's on the other side. The box feels safe. It feels familiar. But familiar is just another word for limited. You've mistaken comfort for clarity. The hustler's eye starts with breaking this box. Walk through life with your eyes wide open, not with rigid expectations that cause you to miss what's right in front of you. Sometimes luck is less about timing, and it's more about how you open your mind and able to see when the moment arrives. You can't see what you've already decided isn't there. Be open to new challenges and take life by the horns. That only guarantees that you will be a better person from it and gain more than if you stay stuck. In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the expert's mind, there are few. Shunryu Suzuki. The second practice is to know the complete terrain. Expansion. The goal is always to expand your horizon so that you have access to different ideas, different perspectives, different ways of moving through the world. Most people only know what they know, and they're comfortable with that. They stay in their lane, talk to the same people, read the same things, go to the same places, and then they wonder why their thinking never evolves. Expand your world deliberately. Talk to people who think differently than you. Put yourself in situations you normally avoid. Eat at a different restaurant. Read a book outside your genre. Have a real conversation with someone whose life looks nothing like yours. Every new perspective you gain is another lens that the hustler's eye can see through, opening your mind to new possibilities. Here's the truth. You can only produce what your mind can conceive is possible. And your mind can only conceive what it has been exposed to. If your world is small, your vision is small. If your experiences are limited, your solutions are limited. This is why the most dangerous person in the room is always the one who has lived the most, not just the one who's read the most. Discomfort isn't a warning sign. It's confirmation that you're growing. Every time you feel that resistance, that awkwardness, that I don't belong here feeling, lean into it. That's you stretching into a version of yourself that didn't exist before. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. The third practice is to dig to the root. Gain some depth. Most people solve the wrong problem when they arise. They treat the symptom and wonder why the disease keeps coming back. They patch the leak without ever asking why the pipe burst in the first place. This is what happens when you operate at the surface. You get surface level results. They never last. A sharp hustler's eyes goes deep. It doesn't accept the first answer it finds. It keeps digging until it hits something real. The actual mechanism underneath the situation. In trading, this means not just accepting that a trade failed, but understanding exactly why. Was it the setup? Was it emotion? Was it risk management? Was it my entry? Was I just wrong? The answer lives at the root, not the surface. A simple tool for this is the 5 whys. When faced with a problem, ask why 5 times. Each answer reveals a deeper layer until you arrive at the real cause. This is referred to as the crux of the problem. The fundamental truth at the core of the problem that everything else is built on top of. Most people never get there because they stop asking as soon as the answer starts getting uncomfortable. But the discomfort is a signal. It means you're getting closer to something that's real. The root cause. Surface level understanding produces surface level solutions. Do your own self-analysis and look for the crux of why you are not where you want to be. Who will find the crux controls the outcome. Go deep enough to change who you are, and everything around you will change too. The next principle is to see further ahead. Have a vision. Never be so short-sighted in your decision making, as most people are so focused on what's directly in front of them that they never see what's coming. It's like walking and looking down at your toes and not seeing the tree ahead. They react to everything because they plan for nothing. They're always putting out fires because they never saw the smoke. The hustler's eye is able to see around corners. It's not enough to know where you are. You need to know where everything is heading. In trading, this is everything. The trader who only sees the current candle gets wrecked by the trend. But the trader who understands the bigger picture is intentional on where he puts his time and energy. The same principle applies to your life, your relationships, your career, your legacy. Look further ahead and think about who you want to be. When you have a long-term vision, so detailed that you can feel it, wear it, see it, smell it, live it, you stop wasting energy on battles that don't move you forward towards this final version. This improves your hustler's eye. You already know which opportunities to take and which ones to leave alone, because you didn't see exactly where each road lead. Distractions lose their power over you. Short-term temptations, they stop looking so attractive when you're locked in on something greater. You move with a greater purpose. Stop reacting. Stop anticipating. Be a visionary. The next principle is to look at people's deeds, not their words, and gain a sharpness of your eye. The hustler's eye works in several ways. It is not only to identify opportunities, but potential threats as well. This is the hustler's eye in its purest form. People will tell you everything you need to know, just not with their mouth. Watch what they do when nobody is looking. Watch how they treat people who can't do anything for them. Watch what they prioritize when things get hard. That's the real person standing in front of you, not the version they perform for your benefit. Everyone is pursuing their own agenda. That agenda varies in size, but it will be self-serving to them. Most are after power and will occasionally manipulate and deceive. That's not cynicism. It's just human nature. So don't take it personal. And don't be naive about it either. The moment that you accept that people move with intention, including the ones smiling in your face, is the moment you start being surprised and start being prepared. Sharpen your eye. Be more vigilant. To do this, you must be a better observer of people. Don't be seduced by grand gestures, as they're just designed to impress you. It's the small things, the patterns, the contradictions, the moments they think you're not paying attention that reveal the truth. A person's habits are their confessions. Keep your eyes pierced, objective, and free of emotion. Emotion clouds judgment. The sharper's eye sees clearly because it refuses to be clouded by what it wants to see. Number 6, reassess yourself and have some detachment, some objectivity. It is important to have a keen sense of opportunities, threats, and human tendencies, but that does not mean that you cannot possess threats and these tendencies within yourself. You can pose as a threat to yourself and the opportunities that come. Thus, a eye has to turn inward too. Most people are so busy watching everyone else that they never take an honest, hard look at themselves in the mirror. And that blind spot, that refusal to see yourself clearly in the mirror, that's the most dangerous one of all. You are not exempt from the same flaws, biases, and ego traps you notice in everyone else. You're human too. The manipulation you spot in others, you've done it. The self-deception you see in people around you, it lives in you too. The difference between the sharp and the naive is that the sharp person knows this and uses it. They assess themselves regularly, not to beat themselves up, but to stay close to reality. Regular self-assessment prevents the blindness that comes from ego and self-deception. Detachment is the skill here. The ability to look at yourself the way you look at a stranger, objective, honest, without the protection of your ego. Where are you actually weak? Where are you operating on assumption instead of evidence? Where has comfort made you soft? These aren't comfortable questions by any means, but they are necessary ones that you must answer if you want to be great in life. The hustler's eye cannot turn inward. And if it doesn't, it's incomplete. You cannot navigate the world clearly if you cannot see yourself clearly first. Analyze your mindset, strategize your growth, fine-tune your temperance. We operate at the highest level, or not at all. We live in a world designed to dull your senses. We're bombarded with so much content that our natural tendency is to process things superficially. Every notification, every scroll, every filtered highlight reel is training you to stay on the surface of everything. And the surface is exactly where the naive live. Comfortable, distracted, and completely blind to what's actually happening around them. In business and personal relationships, I've seen how easily we can be deceived when we fail to observe closely. But this is exactly when we need to slow down and observe more deeply. The hustler's eye isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. One conversation, one observation, one honest assessment at a time. It's a virtuous cycle. The more clearly you see, the better decisions you make. The better decisions you make produce better outcomes. And better outcomes build the life you keep saying you want. Start seeing clearly. Everything else follows. The charge. How to develop your own hustler's eye. First, practice deliberate observation. Every conversation is a classroom. Be intentional about the conversations you have. Use these as moments to sharpen your keenness for details. Make mental notes of body language, habits, contradictions, and any revealing details that otherwise would go unnoticed. The details are where the truth lives. Expand your circle. Identify one area outside your comfort zone and make commitment to explore it this month. Remember, new experiences build new lenses. Number 3, most importantly, conduct a weekly self-audit. Meditate on your mental, physical, and spiritual health. Are you where you want to be in life? How can you improve? Where am I weak? Do you see signs of vulnerability? Are you being naive? What about your environment is hindering your growth? What changes are necessary? Remember, the hustler's eye isn't about being cynical. It's about seeing clearly so you can move purposefully. Kings don't drift through life blindly. They observe, they assess, and they execute. Sharpen your hustler's eye and move through life how you want and get out what you desire. Strengthen your faith and stay focused.